Stop using very. Very angry, furious, very bad, awful, very beautiful, gorgeous, very big, huge, very boring, dull, very bright, luminous, very busy, swamped, very calm, serene, very careful, cautious, very clean, spotless, very clever, brilliant, very cold, freezing, very colorful, vibrant, very complete, comprehensive, very confused, perplexed, very cool, icy, very crowded, packed, very dangerous, perilous, very dark, pitch black, very deep, profound, very detailed, thorough, very dirty, filthy, very dry, arid, very easy, effortless, very fast, rapid, very fat, obvious, very friendly, amiable, very funny, hilarious, very good, excellent, very happy, ecstatic, very hot, scorching, very hungry, starving, very large, massive, very lazy, indolent, very little, tiny, very long, lengthy, very loud, deafening, very mean, cruel, very messy, cluttered, very neat, immaculate, very nervous, apprehensive, very nice, delightful, very old, ancient, very painful, excruciating, very perfect, flawless, very poor, destitute, very powerful, mighty, very pretty, stunning, very quick, swift, very quiet, hushed, very rare, exceptional, very rich, wealthy, very sad, heartbroken, very scary, terrifying, very serious, grave, very sharp, razor sharp, very short, brief, very shy, timid, very simple, basic, very slow, sluggish, very small, minute, very smart, intelligent, very soft, silky, very sorry, apologetic, apologetic, very strong, powerful, very stupid, idiotic, very sweet, adorable, very talented, gifted, very tasty, delicious, very tired, exhausted, very ugly, hideous, very upset, distraught, very useful, handy, very weak, frail, very wet, shocked, very wide, expensive, very wise, sage, very worried, anxious, very young, youthful, very annoying, infuriating, very attractive, alluring, very big hearted, generous, very cheap, inexpensive, very clumsy, awkward, very cruel, vicious, very dangerous, hazardous, very dirty, grimy, very dry, parched, very eager, keen, very empty, desolate, very excited, thrilled, very fancy, lavish, very fat, corpulent, very fierce, ferocious, very funny, comical, very glad, overjoyed, very good looking, attractive, very happy, jubilant, very hard working, diligent, very heavy, massive, very helpful, supportive, very high, soaring, very honest, truthful, very hot, boiling, very important, crucial, very interesting, fascinating, very kind, compassionate, very large, colossal, very late, tardy, very light, wilderness, very loud, thunderous, very lucky, fortunate, very mean, malicious, very neat, orderly, very nervous, tense, very nice, pleasant, very old, elderly, very painful, agonizing, very pale, ashen, very perfect, ideal, very polite, courteous, very poor, needy, very powerful, dominant, very pretty, lovely, very quick, hasty, very quiet, mute, very rainy, pouring, very red, crimson, very relaxing, soothing, very reliable, dependable, very irresponsible, accountable, very rich, affluent, very risky, treacherous, very rough, harsh, very rude, insolent, very sad, miserable, very safe, secure, very shackled, very scared, petrified, very serious, critical, very sharp, pointed, very shiny, gleaming, very short, snappy, very shy, bashful, very simple, uncomplicated, very skinny, scrawny, very slow, lethargic, very small, petite, very smart, sharp, very soft, pushy, very sorry, regretful, very special, unique.